Hi, I'm in Washington RC. Captain Mike here. We're at the Grapevine of Texas. Fly in. We're doing this for Snowball Express. We just want to say this is for a great cause. This is for the raising money for the victim, or for, I should say, for the folks who are fallen, for their family. And so we put this on, and we help out the families after they have lost somebody from being a hero. So what we're going to do today is we're going to set up Expo. Now, we see a lot of folks always ask us, say, Captain Mike, Pilot Ryan, how do we set up Expo? What's your special magic? There isn't any. I hate to say that, but you can dial it according to the pilot. So, first thing you got to figure out is how coordinated are you? So I'm going to ask these questions. You got any types of nerve damage in the hands?
I don't.
Neuropathy, radiculopathy? You got like spinal fusions or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay. You play a lot of Xbox?
I know.
Okay. If you're not playing a lot of Xbox and video games, guess what? Your Expo is going to be higher. If you're one of those 12-year-old gurus who just right on the front of the TV, you're probably going to have no Expo whatsoever.
They still do Super Mario? That's when I quit.
It's okay. Well, maybe back when they had Atari and the flashy things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was back when Pong was good. Okay.
Pong, my favorite.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this up according to Expo only. Rate is different from Expo. Remember, rate just tells the servo how much to move and puts a limit on that movement. But the Expo is what dials it in, and what we're going to do is on the center line of the sticks, we're going to dummy that down a little bit. I call it deadening the sticks because if you're in the Air Force or any type of manufacturer or Navy, if your stick isn't working, it's dead. Navy. So we're going to deaden the stick here, but all it's doing is slowing the servo down before it engages into its outer point, if you will, or its end points. Okay, so we're just going to slow down that center line. So a lot of folks will try to make a big dead fat space thinking it's going to help them, but you know what? Too much Expo is like having no Expo at all, and you can still get a mushy airplane. Okay, now we can begin the work.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is just engage like you're flying, and just engage ailerons, just like this, okay? Nonchalantly. Don't even look at the stick.
Okay.
What I want you to do is look at the ailerons, okay?
Yep.
Just look at the ailerons. And just move that stick back and forth. All right, now keep doing that. Look at your elevator. You see your elevator buckling a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an uncoordinated stick movement. But sometimes folks can't help that. I've got a lot of nerve damage from the neck, which causes me to have a little bit higher Expo because literally my hands lock. All right, yours look fine, but that's engaging. All you want to do now is isolate the movement of the ailerons, and you don't want that to move. So you got two options to do. Add Expo to the ailerons, or add Expo to the elevator.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do is I want you to go with about 15% on your dual rate for ailerons. Okay, go ahead and click it. All right. Work your ailerons. Elevator still engaged just a little bit, right? All we're doing is deaden the stick a little bit on the ailerons. Now we're going to deaden the stick on the elevator. And the reason why I started with a little bit of rate on that is sometimes it's equal between aileron and elevator, sometimes not. But it's up to the pilot, not what Captain Mike does or Pilot Ryan or any other. So go ahead and go to elevator.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Put in 15%. And we're going to start with small increments. All right. Now, engage your ailerons. Hey, we're taming down the elevator. We still got a little bit of movement. Okay. I want you to go up 20% on your elevator. Okay. Now, go ahead and just aileron again. That's a little better. You're just going to have to start practicing to get more coordinated on the sticks because That's what's happening. See, folks have a problem when you're flying. If you ever see that bobble and that weirdness, it's because when you're aileroning, you're accidentally hitting another surface. And what we're trying to do here is isolate the two different surfaces. So if he doesn't want, see how he's sticking, you're arcing when you stick.
Yeah.
Right?
I usually do this. Usually with pinching them.
Okay, so you're a pincher?
I'm a pincher.
Okay, then you're probably going to have a lot less expo than a folks who does thumbs, right?
Okay, yeah.
So what I want you to do now is do elevator up and down and see if these ailerons engage. Now move your sticks like you would be flying. I want you to isolate just the elevator. So we're going to go up just a little bit more because the ailerons are being
Up on the aileron?
Yeah, because what happens is sometimes when you pull back on the stick, you've got an angle, and that's why the plane rotates, and you're like, man, I didn't want that. I don't want a turn. I just want this thing to go nice and straight. If you watch Pilot Ryan and I fly...
I never did go 20% up.
Oh, you never went 20%. All right. You want that nice, if you want the plane just to go, to pivot up or down, change the angle of attack, only on elevator. You don't want to roll out. And that's because you're engaging another surface. The only way to do that is deaden it down.
There we go.
All right, fly it like you would normal. Just like you would just do ailerons. Ailerons only. Every now and then you're hitting an elevator.
I am.
Now you just isolated it. So what this exercise is telling us, it's more of your stick technique more than it is an airplane being too sensitive. Because if you just keep adding expo.
So you're calling me a lousy pilot, especially.
No, what I'm telling you is your plane is set up wrong.
Let's get it.
Yeah? So go ahead, and we're at what, about 20% on the...
I'll tell you where we're at. We are at over 20% on the aileron.
Okay, so let's just go 25.
Just 25.
Yep. And then I want you to go 25 on the elevator.
I'm at 25.
Okay, let's go ahead and test out our surfaces then. So just like you'd be flying nice and easy, but just all we want now is a roll. Just concentrate on rolling the aircraft left and right. Elevator seems to be settling down quite a bit.
Yeah, because I am doing this.
Right. And so if you ever have this problem where you're engaging more than one surface, guess what? You get to practice on the simulator, or you just get to practice, just sit there and learn to isolate that movement of what you want only by watching your airplane. And pretty soon that gets ingrained in second nature, and you're going to start seeing those beautiful scale turns, and you're going to be in a lot more control. The problem with having more than one surface engaged is that's when you lose orientation. That's why you're always nervous all the time, because it's like, okay, all I did was turn the ailerons, but the thing went, I don't know, it reared up. Well, you hit that elevator too. We want to make sure that we isolate a movement for each turn, okay? And that's going to include the rudder, because as you throttle, the rudder can get engaged too, and sometimes you watch people reel off to the right or left, and you're thinking, man, this is really bad. Sometimes it's not the plane, sometimes it's because you got a side. So you know what? That's telling me that if you have to go that high on Expo, you might as well go 25% on your rudder also.
Okay. Okay.
Sometimes, if you notice that you can't keep a plane on the runway because it swerves, that really isn't going to be an Expo problem. That's because the rate is super high for your taxi and takeoff. On my T-45, I'm literally down to 54% on my T-45 when I'm doing the run up down the runway. Once that thing leaves the runway, I flip back to a different rate that allows me the rudder that I like, which is about 80%. So just be mindful that you're going to have some switches and stuff, but you're going to be programming the radio according to your ability and according to the way the plane wants it. So we don't know about our throttle at this point, right?
Right.
So I'm going to tell you that if you're doing that, I'm sure your rudder's engaging. So let's go back to nonchalantly just doing your aileron and see where we're at. Much better on that elevator. Look at that. It's not even moving. Isn't that cool? Now do just your elevator up and down. Now, pretty soon I'm going to tell you to stop. So just go back and forth. And I want you to hold it right when I say stop. Stop. All right, we got a little bit of aileron engaged. This is going to cause you to turn just a little bit if you pulled back on that stick and held.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want that. So we're going to go up to 30% on the aileron, and I'm sure you're going to need about 30% on your elevator. We're going to isolate this down just a little bit more, small increments. Try that.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, we got a dead elevator now. Okay, now do your elevator. The ailerons are still kicking in. Just slightly though, not as bad as they were. Alright, now all I want you to do is nonchalantly pull the elevator back for a climb. There you go, your ailerons are not engaged. That means that plane is going to take off. It's just going to climb straight down the groove of the runway.
Not do this.
Yeah, it's not going to rear up. It's not going to pull out. Wind correction is going to be different. When you pull off, you're still going to be straight. It's just the wind is going to move you over, or you're going to start to crab. That is normal aircraft.
Okay.
That's when you engage rudder
Right.
to fix that. But at least we know we won't need ailerons.
Okay.
So I would stick with that about there, and you don't have to go up past 40, 50, or 60% Expo. That's a no-no. That means you got to go back and learn movements on your stick and get some practice. So I think you're going to find that this is going to be more responsive, and actually it's not going to feel mushy. I think you're good to go on this.
I hate mushies.
I know it.
Thank
Awesome.
you, Captain Mike.
You are welcome. And we're going to take this up again shortly, and we're going to see how well this works.
Okay.
Now,
All right, we gotta-
every plane is going to have a different rate. If you do not believe me, we can take every A10 that's out here today, line them all up, reprogram them to one radio, and you're going to notice, because at the factory, it's nobody's fault, some of those servos are set just a little bit different. Some are faster than other servos. Some are more responsive, some are slower. Every plane's different. If you don't trust me on that, take this challenge. Set up an airplane, get it all programmed just as sweet as you can get it. Take that receiver out, reprogram a new receiver, bind it in, and I bet you won't have the same flight character. Something's gonna feel a little funky. Every plane is different, every radio is different. You might, if you're flying Dynam, your rates might be different. If you're flying free wing, your rates might be different. All you want to do is add enough Expo to isolate each movement on the stick. And from there on, you got a chance to win.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.